let's get started. You're gonna need a mat if you'd like, a little bit later, and you're going to need a light kettlebell. If you don't have a mat, you can always use an ab mat as well, but I'm using the mat because I'm gonna be using this kind of for 2 different exercises in one. So we're gonna roll this out. We're gonna show kind of from a couple different angles for today. Also, Merry Christmas Eve. So the first exercise, we're gonna be kneeling. So I'm gonna show you guys kind of from a profile and then from front position. This is specifically, hard word, that is specifically going to be utilized for shoulder prehab, as I call them, but also warming up the core and unilateral warm up. So we're gonna grab a light kettlebell. This is a rogue kettlebell. If you're interested in getting rogue kettlebells, you can get them linked below. This is 18 pounds. I would recommend starting with a light weight. We're actually going to be doing an upside down kettlebell external rotation. So that's the first exercise. Say 2 for the other 2. So first we're going to create a 90-degree angle with both legs, ankle underneath knee, and then your back knee underneath your hip. So if you need to widen your stance so you feel more comfortable, you can go a little bit wider than your hip width, or just go hip width. Then we're going to grab our kettlebell. I'm going to grab it by the handle. I like to give it a little momentum, swing, and get it up to this 90-degree angle. So this is the position we're going to start in, wrist over elbow, elbow over shoulder. Then we're going to externally rotate to the side and then come back. While doing this, we're maintaining the upside down kettlebell. This is why I recommend going light. If you don't have a kettlebell, you can substitute for a dumbbell, light dumbbell, but the upside down kettlebell is going to really work in your grip, but also balance and coordination. So if that's an area of improvement for you, feel free to implement this. All right, so we're gonna swing that up. I'm stabilizing the bell, wrist over elbow, elbow on shoulder. My other hand actually goes in my rib cage to keep my core tight. Then I'm externally rotating to the side, nice controlled, coming back to center. Now, as I do this, I want to think of keeping my shoulders and hips square going forward as I rotate solely my arm. So from the front, I get in this position. I'm trying to make sure I'm not doing this. Notice the difference in my torso rotating. My shoulder actually isn't rotating. So if you have very tight shoulders, this might be difficult. You can even start with no weight. But in this position, I externally rotate to the side, coming back to center. We're going to perform 10 reps on one arm. I've already done about 5. And then we're going to switch and do 10 reps on the other arm. So if you want to follow along, you can. If you want to save this for later, screenshot it as well. I will be putting this in the comments below, so feel free to check that out. So again, let's go ahead and do this. I do 2 rounds of this. I already did 1, so we're just going to focus on 1. So I want to make sure I get to the other exercises for you guys. So again, we're focusing on externally rotating that arm, keeping that elbow in line with the shoulder. If it starts to drop, go down in weight or switch to load. After those 10 reps, again I did 5 and 5, we'll switch legs. Same thing, external rotation on the other arm. Now you may notice that one side is going to be more controlled or more balanced. Entropy, where'd you go? Entropy. Oh, there she is. Make sure she can run off. Come here. We did a workout earlier. I didn't showcase it because I had music playing and there's a lot of running and rowing, so wouldn't have been able to hear me or really see me much. So it goes 8, 2 more, 9, and 10. So this is a great shoulder prehab exercise, great shoulder warm-up. So if you're doing anything with kettlebells, cleans, snatches, presses, rows, deadlifts, all that stuff, this is great because it's going to help work the strengthening of the back side of the shoulder. Again, external rotation, also going to help with core. So that's the first exercise. I would recommend doing 2 rounds of this, so 10 and 10, start with light kettlebell, upside kettlebell if you can. If you're new here, please feel free to share this video. Again, Happy New Year's, Happy Merry Christmas Eve. If you guys find this beneficial and helpful, share with others, like, and if you want to support, you can do a super gift or gift, however that works. I'm relatively new to this, but I'm trying to make sure I'm able to continue to do these into the new year. So if you want to support, that would be a great way to support. All right. And I just realized I didn't have my mic. All right, so we're going to fix that up. We're going to put the mic on, and we're going to continue on. So the second exercise is going to be focused on more of our hip. So again, this is going to be for the kettlebell. We're going to take this off. It's getting hot in here. Also, this is I did my Margot cut on my shirts these days. So it's funny because I coach at Power Monkey. If you are interested in Power Monkey Camp, let me know. But this is my Just Go original OG shirt with the Rogue. It is the American flag and the Bitterroot Mountains, which is where I grew up on. But the Margot cut essentially is the cut where you cut kind of around the midsection. So hope you guys enjoy. But got the mic on, so hopefully you guys can hear better than the mic over there. All right, so second exercise. This is going to be focused more towards the hips. I'm going to show you guys from 2 different angles. The first one is going to be more a profile. So I usually stack these exercises together. So I go from the shoulder external rotation to this exercise. cars coming, so it might be a little loud. All right, so in this position, you guys can notice from the side, my back leg is kicked behind me on my left leg, knees under my hip. My opposite leg is going to be in line as much as I can. So knee in line with my hip, ankle underneath. So from the side, kind of looks like that Captain Morgan position, if you've ever seen the Captain Morgan bottle, but I'm creating a 90-degree angle with this other leg. From here, two options with the bell. You can either hold the bell in front, kind of between your inner thighs, groin area, and you're going to try to keep your knee in line with your toe as you go into the side lunge, right, or a side dragon, I call it. The kettle will be in front of you, and then you're going to press back up. The other option is to stack that bell on top, either holding the handle or holding the bell. I prefer handle, gives me a little more control. I'm going to go all the way down into that lunge and then come back up. Again, using light weight. I used to do this a lot. Now I prefer actually to bring it here. It allows me to kind of push a little bit more into my inner thigh. So we're going to do 5 from this side, then I'll switch 5 from the other side. But while we're doing this, we're focusing on trying to create opening in that right hip as well as an opening in that left hip. That left hip, we're kind of getting a little more of an internal rotation. This leg, we're getting a little more of an external rotation, I say, because our hips are kind of forward and our knee is trying to track over that midfoot. So this is a great hip opener. Again, all with kettlebells. If you don't have kettlebells, then you can always utilize dumbbells. So I'm going to show from a profile position. I'm kind of staggered on the mat here, but again, move forward so I have a little more space. 90-degree angle-ish, lean down, come back up. Now, depending on the size of the bell may hit the floor. That's totally fine. Also, depending on the mobility or flexibility of your lower leg, specifically on your right leg here, you may not be able to get all the way down. That's okay. I think we got about one more. Good. So I'll do 10 on one leg, and then I'll switch. Then I'll do 10 on the other leg. And you'll notice, whoo, this side's a little tighter. I thought my right side was tight. So notice that my toe and ankle, or toe and heel is in a line, right? If you feel like it's really hard to get out of the bottom position, you can pull your foot closer towards your knee here, or you can push it further away depending on where you're at. Again, this is adjustable. This is a starting point, kind of like a guide that you're going to utilize for yourself. We got a couple more. That was 8, 9, one more, and 10. All right, so same thing. You're going to do 2 rounds of that. So typically what I do when I incorporate this into my training, I'll do 10 of the external rotation on the one arm, 10 of the external rotation on the other arm. Then I'll do 10 side lunges or side drag on one arm, then or on one leg, and then the other leg. And I'll do that for 2 rounds. Once we wrap that up, we're going to get to the third exercise. So this we'll actually be doing off the mat. So I'll move the mat off to the side. And there's actually, this is kind of like a superset of a third movement here. But, I mean, I consider it one because I'm doing 2 kind of exercises. But the point is that we're going to get a little bit of a twisting rotation. This is a full body stretch as well as stability for the shoulder. So if you guys are new here and you love this, feel free to support and either like, share. Hopefully this reaches other people. All right, so let's get started to wrap up this last exercise plus the bonus exercise. All right, so once we finish those, we're actually going to bring this kettlebell into the front rack position. I'm going to have my hand right at the top of the bell, fingers inside, and then I'm going to just press the dumbbell, or excuse me, kettlebell overhead. If it's, again, shouldn't be heavy, but if it's a little heavier and you can't press, you can do a little push press to get it overhead. So I'm going to show from front and side. We're going to get into a nice standing straddle, so feet are significantly outside your shoulders. The wider the straddle, the easier it may be, depending on your flexibility and strength. We're just going to press that bell or push press that bell, but if you are going to push press the bell, do it from your feet under the hips, then extend, straddle your feet. From here, my eyes are going to stay on my bell the entire time. My left hand is going to follow my thigh all the way down to my ankle, getting as low as I can. If you can't get to the ankle, you can go to your shin, your knee, your thigh. The focus here is reaching with the right arm to the sky, reaching with the left arm to the floor or ankle. Once you reach this end position, you're going to come back up. So you don't want to push too much on the leg. You just kind of use it as a reference of where am I in space, and then come back up. Now this is going to be challenging depending on if you've ever done this before. If you've never done it before, it will feel very awkward. We are getting some twisting, some rotation in the body. We're also working and stretching the hamstrings. So we're going to do 10 reps here, nice and easy, focusing eye on the bell. Now I just do 10 reps on each side for 1 round. The focus here is just get some movement, some flow. Notice as I do this, I push my hips to the right as I kind of lean my body and my arm to the left. I think that was 4, 5. So working stability of the right shoulder. 6, and then some rotation of the body. One more. Good. Then I'm going to come down. I'm going to switch. Other side, same thing. You will notice that one side is harder than the other. Also notice that In this position, my palms kind of facing forward. If you want to rotate more external rotation, so thumb facing back, that's also great. Do not rotate forward. Do not try to internally rotate. Think external rotation or just stacked right overhead. So eye on the bell. This time, oh, my hip just popped. This time, my left hand's reaching to the sky. Right hand finds my thigh. I slide down to the ankle, floor, shin, knee, whatever you can get. Remember, you're not putting tons of pressure on the leg. You're using it as more of a reference point. I think it was 3, 4, 5, halfway, 6, 7, 8, 9, one more. Remember, I'm pushing my hips to the left now. Hips go left, body goes to the right, torso goes right. All right, so that's the third exercise. Now, those are the top 3 exercises I talked about in terms of getting that perfect kettlebell warm up. We targeted the external rotation of the shoulder. We did a little bit of the hips, inner thighs, as well as core, and then we just got some rotation, twists, also hamstrings and upper body. So this is a great 3 movements if you're looking for 3 quick to do. If you have a little extra time, and you can add this last one in, it won't take much more, maybe 30 seconds, 45 seconds. You're gonna take that bell, keep in that front rack position, right? In the front rack position, I'm having the bell rest on my forearm and the bicep here, so I'm not kind of off to the side. We want to think of creating a little cradle for that bell. Elbows out in front, about a 45-degree angle. Oh, and bring my stance about underneath my shoulders, and I'm just going to press the bell overhead, locking the arm out. I'm trying to get full range of motion here, so squeezing the tricep at the top, finishing with that bell overhead the body. And I'll just perform 10 repetitions. Notice I can come down to here, kind of where the bell hits my shoulder, bicep, excuse me. I can even come a little bit lower if you'd like, but you'll do 10 on this one arm. I think that's been about 5, 6. You want to squeeze your butt, quads, abs, everything nice and tight. Engage that lower body, as that's going to give your foundation so that you can press against. You'll do 10 on one arm, switch. Same thing from the front, 10 on the other arm. Other arm can come on front of your rib cage or off to the side. Remember, abs are engaged, quads are engaged, and you're pinching a penny between your butt cheeks or a piece of paper between your butt cheeks. You want to think of keeping everything tight, engaged. One more. Heard to count and talk at the same time. All right, so that's a bonus exercise, bonus warm up, or bonus movement. So those are the 3 plus the extra exercises if you're looking to utilize for kettlebells. If you found this beneficial, helpful, please feel free to support. Also, I have a New Year's challenge coming up January 1st for 31 days, a 31-day New Year's challenge. It is free. If you would like some more information, stay tuned. I'll be sharing more, but it's going to include some nutrition tips. It's going to include some tips on managing your time. So time management, that's something that's a struggle for you, but it's also going to be talking about building habits and how you build habitual and routine habits into your lifestyle. It's going to create long-term change. So if you're interested, feel free to support. Check it out. Feel free to subscribe and share. You guys are all amazing. Thank you so much for being here and for supporting. I hope you have a great Christmas, and I will hopefully do a live tomorrow. Wishing you guys all Merry Christmas, but enjoy your Merry Christmas Eve with family, friends, and I'll see you soon.